This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
The views and opinions expressed by the host do not reflect that of the store and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions expressed by the guest do not reflect that of the host, the show, the store, and the network.
Hello Philippines and hello world. I'm here again and you are watching the Social Work Table. Hi from San Jose Occidental Mindoro down to DSSW3B. I'm your host, Christine Jane Quirol. For today's segments, we've got a great topics for you. We will talk about the strengths-based perspective and the rights-based perspective in social work profession. Is everyone having a good day today? I know how it feels to get up so early to join us here today, to listen, to learn, and to have the opportunity to raise a concern and provide solution. Thank you so much, guys. You know, guys, I am excited to have you all here. Excited about all the amazing conversations that we're going to have today. Now, before we get started, I only want you to remember one thing. This is a safe space. There is no judgment here. There are no consequences. Just a few casual discussions with today's generations of social workers. To begin the journey of knowledge, let's watch this clip of Miss Loella, a third-year social work student at Occidental Mindoro State College, discussing the definition, history, and philosophical background of strength-based perspective. Roll video!
Hello everyone, how are you doing? I'm sure you have heard of the strength-based perspective because it was addressed in one of our previous major subjects. To reiterate, strength-based perspective is an approach to social work that puts the strengths and the resources of people, communities, and their environments, rather than their problems and pathologies at the center of the helping process. It was created as a corrective and transformative challenge to predominant practice and policies that reduce people and their potential to deficits, pathologies, problems, and dysfunctions. And according to Salivy 2008, the strengths perspective is relatively recent development in social work theory. The purposeful amplification of the strength perspective as an approach to social work practice began in the early 1980s at the University of Kansas School of Social Welfare. Vick, Rapp, Sullivan, and Keshart coined the term strength perspective to address system in which practitioners recognize the authority and assets a client possesses. A strength-based approach was a stance taken to oppose a mental health system that overly focused on diagnosis, deficits, labeling, and problems. It also has been used in a variety of contexts, including schools, agencies, and private practice, and with a wide range of clients including children, adolescents, couples, and families. Over the past decade, a strength perspective has been evolved as an important orientation in working with clients in social work. The strength perspective as a philosophical premise of social work practice system from social work values such as self-determination, empowerment, and the inherent worth and dignity of every human being, which is the profession's core values. On a philosophical level, the intense focus on problems make it difficult for practitioners to express some of the fundamental values of the profession. The belief in the dignity and worth of each individual and the corresponding belief in individual and collective strength and potential cannot be realized fully in the midst of concerns about assessing liabilities. On a practical level, the concern with the problem places the practitioner in a position of authority, making it difficult for the clients to trust their own sense of how to proceed with their lives. As a result, they may be tied to professional help for extended period. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Luella. That was an informative one. I hope you gained something from that clip. But now, let's take a short commercial to break the ice for a while.
We call the circus, let's go down. We send home the horses to the radio clowns. I'm still on a tightrope, I'm still trying nothing to get you laughing at me.
And I am back, and you are watching the Social Work Table. For the commercial break, we have gained a glimpse about the definition, the history, and philosophical background of strengths-based perspective. I'm sure everyone watching right now is eager to learn more about the strengths-based perspective. I am confident that we'll take down notes on the following topics. I'm wondering right now, why not ask our broad classmates if there's anything else we should know? So for further information, we have Junali Makiling from Rizal as our social work student reporter. Junali Makiling, kindly update our viewers.
The strengths perspective emphasizes the human capacity for resilience, resistance, courage, thriving, and ingenuity, and it champions the rights of individuals and communities to form and achieve their own goals and aspirations. While acknowledging the difficulties that clients experience, the strengths perspective never limits people to their traumas, problems, obstacles, illness, or adversity. Rather, it addresses them as challenges, opportunities, and motivators for change. To provide deeper insight in empowering injustice, here are the main principle of the strengths perspective for social workers. To recognize that every individual, group, family, and community has strengths and resources. Engage in systematic assessment of strengths and resources to realize that while trauma, abuse, illness, and struggle may be injurious, they may also be resources of challenge and opportunity. To honor clients, set goals and aspirations for growth and change, to serve clients and communities' interests through collaboration with them as directors of their own helping process, to mobilize the strengths and resources of clients, relationships, and environments, to link goals to specific global actions that activate strengths and resources, to engage in social work with a sense of caring and hope. Therefore, these guiding principles shape the lens for viewing human behavior. For some further insight, we have our reporter, Kisha Joy Reconoce. Kisha, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you tell us more about the significance of the strength-based perspective in the social work profession?
Each strengths perspective enable a social worker's approach client with a positive
Can
attitude,
you tell us more
which
about
in
the
turn
significance
enhance
of the
client
strength-based
motivation
perspective in the
and
social
give
work
clients
profession?
hope. It makes it easier for social workers to uphold individualization's value when dealing with clients in the same situation or facing similar problems. Identifying and affirming strength is key to the value instance of social work professions and may provide an alternative practice approach from professionals who find the value consistent with their own professional view. The themes of relationship building and self-determinations are essential to educating a social work student in the field of practice. So the strength-based perspective is the lens through when social workers evaluate their clients and shift the motivation for interventions away from fixing client and toward recognizing their inherent worth and capacity.
Kisha, could you kindly explain the key concepts of a strength-based perspective?
Resiliency and empowerment are the key concept in the strength-based approach. When we say resiliency, we imply that humans frequently survive and thrive in the face of all of kind of difficulties, where our empowerment support the strength model vision to people as active partners in service delivery and hope. Empowerment aims to enhance capacity by shifting power from the environment to our clients, strengthen them and contributing to their well-being. Empowering individuals involves trusting in their ability to make their own choice and decisions. A social worker duty is to nurture, encourage, age, enable, support, and stimulate people's strength. It's me, Kisaya Joy Acosta Reconoce, reporting.
Thank you, Kisha. That's it for today. I'm Jonalyn Makiling. Back to you, Christine.
So far, so good. I'm glad you're still here with us watching this segment. But don't forget to follow our social media accounts in Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And share your thoughts on today's first topic by using the show's official hashtag Transformative Wednesday. So now, let's go on to our next segment. And this is the Social Work Table Plus. We have our special guest today who will be joining us here in the studio to share their expertise and knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Christine Jane Carol and Mr. Nico John Bautista. Good morning, Mr. Nico. It's a pleasure to meet you out here. Welcome to the Social Work Table Class.
Hello everyone, thank you for inviting me today and I am honored to be here and this is an excellent opportunity.
I'm Christine and I'll be asking you some questions today. So, let's get started! So, Mr. Nico, as a registered social worker in DSWD San Jose, can you provide any insights about the right-based perspective?
A right is a long-term guarantee, a set of structural claims, particularly for the most vulnerable and excluded members of society. They range from the most fundamental to the most advanced, and include the rights to life, food, education, work, health, and liberty. It is open to everyone regardless of nationality, gender, national or ethnic origin, race, religion, language, or socioeconomic status. On the other hand, these are the things that are essential for the human being to live. We mean anything that creatures require to survive, such as food, water, shelter, and many more. These as necessities to attain a certain goals, such as fulfillment, pleasure, or satisfaction, fall somewhere in the middle of the previous interpretations. They consider the factors that contribute to fulfilling the aim of a happy life, such as jobs, money, healthcare, and social standings, to be the requirements or necessities for the objectives realizations. As a registered social worker, it is important that we know the human right-based approach is empowering people to know and claim their rights, as well to increase the ability and accountability of a person. An organization is responsible for respecting, persevering, and fulfilling rights. This entails offering individuals more opportunity to implement choices that affect the human rights. There is also opportunities for realizing the ability of individuals responsible for carrying out rights to understand and respect such rights, as well as ensure that they can be held accountable.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nico, for giving us a background about the rights-based perspective. We learned a great deal from you. Mr. Nico John Bautista, once more, please give him a round of applause. Next up, we have another great person to coming up. We'll be right back!
Yapak. Narinig mo na ba ang kwento ng isang batang umiiyak sa kanto? Narinig mo na ba ang sigaw ng munting anghel na biktima ng pang-aabuso? Ramdam mo ba kung paano sumampalang realidad ng mundo, kalakip ng mga pangakong hustisyang ilang ulit nang itinago, ngunit ang sakit at pait ay nanatili sa puso? Yan lang naman ang madalas na tinitingnan, hinahalukay hanggang sa mabigyang hustisya ang buhay na tinapakan ng iba para sa isang manggagawang panlipunan ay napakahalaga. Maraming dahilan, maraming pinaghuhugatan ng bawat larawan, imahe at kalagayan.
Miss Christine is the next people we will interview. Good morning, Ma'am Christine. So, as a program head at Social Work Department at University of the Philippines, what are the underlying principles that are essential in putting a rights-based perspective into practice? Good morning, everyone, especially to our dear students. I hope you're all doing well despite of these hectic schedules and many deadlines that are approaching you. So the principles that putting the social work into practice are what we call the panel principles. So the panel principles consist the participation, accountability, non-discrimination and equality, empowerment, and legality of rights. So in participation, everyone has the right to participate in decisions which affect their human rights. Participation must be active, free, and meaningful, and give attention to issues of accessibility, including access to information in a form and language which can be understood. So what does this mean for us? For example, in relation to the care of older people, this means that individuals should practice in all decisions about the care and support they are receiving. This could range from participation and in the commissioning and procurement of social care services by local authorities to participating in daily decisions about the care and support being received. The second is accountability. So this principle requires effective monitoring of human rights standards as well as effective remedies for human rights breaches. For accountability to be effective, there must be appropriate laws, policies, institutions, administrative procedures, and mechanisms of redress in order to secure human rights. For instance, in the care sector, there are a range of bodies which promote accountability for respecting, protecting, and fulfilling human rights. In different ways, these bodies all have a responsibility to ensure that the standards of accountability for human rights are as high as possible. These include the Commissioners of Care Services, care provider organizations, and inspection and regulation bodies. In non-discrimination and equality principle, a human rights-based approach or perspective means that all forms of discrimination in the realization of rights must be prohibited, prevented, and eliminated. It also requires the prioritization of those in the most marginalized situations who face the biggest barriers to realizing their rights. There are times when older people receiving care and support services can be among some of the most vulnerable and marginalized people in our society. A human rights-based perspective means we must pay particular attention to the protection and realization of their rights. Sometimes, because of their age, older people are discriminated against in access to services or in opportunities to express their views. Older people also have different identities based on their gender, ethnicity, religion, and many other grounds. Each of these identities should be respected when receiving care and support services. In addition, the empowerment of right holders, which means that individuals and communities should know their rights. It also means that they should be fully supported to participate in the development of policy and practices which affect their lives and to claim rights where necessary. That is to say, everyone, including older people, should understand what their rights are and how they can claim these rights. Achieving this may require the provision of appropriate advocacy support. Finally, the legality of rights requires the recognition of rights as legally enforceable entitlements, and it is linked into national and international human rights law. In care providers and all other accountable bodies, they must be sure that their practices and procedures are grounded in human rights law. Under the law, they must not breach the human rights of anyone. So that's all the panel principles. Wow, that was a comprehensive and substantial explanation. I think my brain cells are bloated right now because we learned so much today. So let us go on the next segment. The clock is ticking and we will witness our final but not least segment for today, when Social Work Table returns. Still up? I saw someone over there sleeping already. Just kidding, I know you're still alive and kicking. I think we should go on to the next segment. But first, remember to use our official hashtag #TransformativeWednesday.
Hi everyone!
everyone, it's me, Mars Hornet, your kumare sa pakikipagkwentuhan at kumare sa pakikipagdebatehan. So for today's vlog, I've invited a special guest with a longtime friend of mine who works as an international representative as Plan International's project manager. Please welcome Miss Anne Malieda.
Hi, good morning everyone and welcome back to our vlog. So sis, what are we going to do today?
So sis, I recently uploaded an Instagram story in which I asked my followers about Plan International's social welfare program, and now we're here to provide answers and explanation. Yep, so let's get started with the first question, which I will read from my Instagram story. What is social welfare program? Okay, as far as I recall, a social welfare program is any number of activities that aim to provide vulnerable and marginalized persons in our society with housing, medical, food, educational, and occupational assistance. However, the definition of social welfare programs differ based on who is served and the type of goods or services provided. So each program has its own set of restrictions and limitations. Okay, moving on to the next question. Aside from government programs, is there any non-governmental organization that assists people through social welfare programs run by volunteers?
Yes. Plan International as one of the international non-governmental organizations. It is an independent development and humanitarian organization founded in 1937 that promotes children's rights and gender equality. Plan International advocates for children's rights from birth to adulthood. Our work helps children prepare for and respond to crisis and adversity. We also use our network, expertise, and knowledge to influence changes in practice and policy at the local, national, and global levels. Plan International has been building strong relationships for children for over 75 years and is operating in over 70 countries.
Thank you for your detailed response. So, I have one more question from one of my followers. So, given that Plan International operates in 70 countries, could you provide us an example of a social welfare program developed and implemented by this organization, especially in the Philippines?
Oh, sure. On November 13, 2019, the Labor Department announced a collaboration with Plan International to increase the employability of Filipino youth and promote decent employment free for all forms of discrimination. Plan International will strengthen the Dole Jumpstart Philippines program by providing its youth employment solution. Yes, Academy, a digital life skills training platform that gives free access to skills development courses as well as information on their rights against exploitation. The organization will also aid the Dole in decreasing the youth job search period through its Training and Employment Support Service Assistant or TESA, a chatbot platform that can assist marginalized youth in their job searching. Young people learn skills such as career counseling, life skills, employability, and technical skills. They are either trained to work in a specific sector or become entrepreneurs.
Okay, that's all for the questions we picked. So I hope everyone who's watched this video got a lot out of it. So I believe we have answered the questions correctly that I got from my Instagram story. So I thank you for staying with me today, and thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys, that's my pleasure.
Okay, before I end up this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to receive future updates from me. So bye! Thank you guys!
Wow! I have nothing to say about the vlog. It's really interesting and I'm sure the viewers will get something out of it. Our segments today are incredibly high level and they truly provide viewers take-home knowledge. With that, we would like to thank you everyone for joining us here today. Thank you for tuning in the Social Work Table. Have a great weekend and we'll see you in the next Wednesday. Bye!